I think we should start perhaps with what I think is maybe the most problematic, because it's problematic on various levels, which is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verses 34 to 35, if you're following along at home. Women should be silent in the churches, for they are not permitted to speak, but should be subordinate, as the law also says. If there is something they want to learn, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is shameful for a woman to speak in church.
Should women be silent in churches? It's a question that has sparked debates for centuries, with opinion rooted in tradition, culture, and interpretation of scripture. But in today's world, where gender equality and empowerment are at the forefront, is this still related? So welcome guys to my channel. If you are new here, please do subscribe and share with your fellow being, and don't forget to leave your feedback in the comment section. So let's try to learn. Therefore, there's similar text in the Bible. We can find it in 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 11 to 12. A woman should learn in quietness and full submission. She must be quiet. Now, at first glance, Bible might look like against women, and these passages also seems an universal issue to command that women are never allowed to speak in the churches for any reason. Now, in both cases, a closer examination must be done or is necessary. Let's see. Do we note how Paul specifies the subject of teaching and assuming authority? Now, a woman is to be quiet in that she has no right to teach men in the church, and she should show her submission to authority by learning. Therefore, in other words, this should be taken as not a total command for women to remain silent at all times in all services. Whereas there are some contextual factors in the 1 Corinthians chapter 14 for anyone who says women are to be quiet or silent in the churches should also look at same epistle. Paul mentions situation where women are allowed to pray and prophesy in public. 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 5. Now, chapter 11 gives the rule for smaller group of believers. Chapter 14 gives the rule for entire assembly. Well, chapter 11 focuses on dress, head covering as a symbol of submission without regard to the modesty of a woman, praying or prophesying. The subject of prophesying being addressed later in chapter 14. If we look closer at 1 Corinthians chapter 14, we can find the overall concern is seems orderly assemblies. Now, the church of Corinthian was noted for the disorder or uncontrolled in assembly. Verse 33, therefore, it was seems that in the church of Corinthian, everyone at service was participating whenever and however they wanted to. For those with the gifts of tongue were speaking at once all, and no one was concerned with interpretation what was being said. Now, people with a supposed revelation from God were shouting out randomly and even heard above the noise, and apparently no one was judging what was being offered as prophecy. Now, meetings in the Corinthian were characterized by confusion, and no one was being educated or instructed. See verse 5 to 12 and 19. To answer this, Paul instructs a number of groups to be quiet at certain time and certain conditions. And I hope you guys like this video. Please do subscribe and share with your fellow being, and don't forget to leave your feedback in the comment section, and many more episodes are coming up.